They feel yourself, they feel yourself, they feel yourself.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl Dumebi Lea. I'm going to be showing you guys how I transformed from this to this. Yeah. So you guys won't believe I've actually filmed this particular makeup tutorial before. I was trying out a new type of filming method and it did not work out. It was a disaster, so I had to film it again, and well, it turned out really nice. So before we get right into the video, guys, please just take a moment to hit the subscribe button just below this video by the right hand side and the notification bell right beside it, and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. So to start off, I've already done my brow using the Hegai and Esther brow gel in Ebony. That's their darkest shade and it is a Nigerian brand. Then now I'm priming my eyes using the LA Girl High Definition Primer. You guys already know that this is my go-to primer because it's white and it's also creamy. Then now I'm going into my Masquerade Palette Mini by Juvia and taking the shade Ada as my first transition shade. Then my next shade is Zulu. That's my next transition shade, and I'm gradually changing the color into an orange. So I'm just going to be using this all over my above my crease, and I'm going into my Morphe 35V palette and taking those two shades there to further brighten my transition shade to give me an orange, the right shade that I am looking for. And now I'll apply my primer once again so that the shade I apply on my eyelid will really pop. So I blend it in with my finger, and then I'm going in with that orange shade there. It's kind of like a silk eyeshadow. It's not too shimmery, so I'll just be placing it all over my lid and blending it upwards to join the rest of my transition shade. Now I'm using a clean blending brush to blend the harsh lines so that it will give me a smooth and seamless smoky. Then now going into that shade, that Cleopatra shade from my Juvia's palette, I'll just be using that as for my brow bone highlights. So now I'm going to be taking a combination of a silver and gold glitters. Then I'm going to just be putting that right in the middle of my eyelid, just to give it some kind of sparkle. And the glitter glue I'm using is the Benai glitter glue. So now I'm cleaning out any eyeshadow fallout that I have there, and it's time for my liner. I really love to do like really sharp wing liners for smoky eyes, which is what I'm doing here. So I'm using my JM lashes. These are lashes that have been featured on this channel before, and I really love these lashes because of how the hairs seem to open up and it's kind of winged out. I have a thing for winged out lashes. So for my lower waterline, I use my Mabrook pencil, and now I'm priming my face using the Kiss Beauty Illuminating Primer. It's an illuminating primer. I didn't want something to dry me out. I just wanted something that will make, you know, the whole face glow. So I waited for a moment for that to dry, and now I'm using my NYX Illuminator as another base before I go in with my foundation. So just make sure to apply that too. And the illuminating primer actually helped my illuminator apply smoothly and seamlessly, allowed it blend easily. If I had used a mattifying primer, the primer would not glide, the illuminator wouldn't have glided and blended as easily as it did in this video. So for my first foundation, I used the Tara medium coverage foundation in TF316, and I just used that all around the perimeters of my face to give me like a contour effect. So I'm just using my buffing brush to buff it right in. When you're applying foundation with a buffing brush, make sure you just pat the foundation with the brush into your skin. Don't drag it. The only place you see me dragging is in my neck, just trying to blend it down into my jawline and my neck. But on the face, you just pat in. Now, the second foundation I'm using is the LA Girl High Definition Foundation in Coffee, and I'm using this to highlight my face. So I'm just putting it in the middle of my face, my forehead, under my eyes, my upper lip area, and above my upper lips and my chin. So I'm just using a beauty blender to blend this in. The purpose of using a beauty blender is that it takes away excess foundation in case there's any excess. So apart from blending in, a beauty blender will take away any excess foundation. So now to blend it further with the contoured area, which is the first foundation area that I use the Tara, I'm just using that same blending brush to pat it in. So I will just buff everything right in, and in that same motion I'm blending in both the lighter foundation and the darker foundation to give me a highlight and contour effect, because I'm not doing the typical highlight and contour. I used an eyeshadow blending brush to blend the edges of my eyeshadow into the foundation around my nose area. So now to set my highlighted area, I'm just using my Benai banana powder, and I'm baking this time around. So now that I'm done with that, I'm going to be going into my LA Pride USA powder in the shade Ebony to brush off the powder that I used to set my face. And this particular powder that I'm using to brush up is my exact shade, so it can remove a little bit of that whitishness and you know, bring back my skin tone. I'm always wary of baking. You guys already know this. If I must bake, I'm always conscious of the shade that I use as my highlight and the shade that I use to brush off the powder that I used to bake. So I'm further blending that powder down into my jawline on my neck area. So I'm going into another powder now, which is the Milani compact powder in the shade Deep, which is also a powder shade, a teensy weensy bit lighter than me. So I just use that in the highlighted areas. Now for my contour, I'm going into my classic contour kit, and I'm taking the darkest shade there, which is a contour shade there, to just contour, further contour and set the perimeters of my face. So I'm using that shape, that same contour shade, to just contour my nose too. So now I'm going into this new highlight that I just got. So let me try it out, and I actually like the payoff. So I'm just using this to glow up my face. Although usually I lean towards something with a gold tone, this one almost looks silvery. And as someone who is extremely dark skinned, it could come off looking ashy. But it's about how you apply it. Try not to apply too much, and I blend it eventually. So I'm applying that on my cheekbones, the bridge of my nose, and I'll blend it upwards into my forehead area and my cupid's bow. You see, at this point I look like a ghost. But of course the setting spray is going to bring the whole look together. So I'm setting my face now with a setting spray from LA Girl. It's the LA Girl High Definition Setting Spray, and I just prime my lip with a lip balm because my lips tend to be dry and patchy. Then now I'm lining my lip using a Mabrook pencil, Mabrook eyebrow pencil. I just lined my lip. And then for my lipstick, I'm using the Nubian Beauty Pro Matte lipstain in Safari. This is another Nigerian brand. Nigerian brands are really doing it these days for me. So I'm just using this. It kind of matches with my eye, but it dries down to a kind of brown carton color shade that I equally like. So at this point, I'm getting like monotone vibes from this look. So now just for my lower lid, to smoke it out, I just took those two shades from my Morphe and I just smoked out my lower lid. Then I took my highlights and I just placed some of it in the middle, in the inner corner of my eyes to also make it pop. Then I'm just attending to my bottom lashes now with some mascara. Then I'm using my powder brush now to just blend in the highlighted area so it doesn't look so harsh. And this is the finished look. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to give it thumbs up, guys, and comment. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.